Thanks for coming over. I mean, it's freaking last minute, but we got her going.
Dude, I'm bored on a Friday.
Yeah. It's not even nice enough yet to go golfing.
I know.
I mean, you could, but I know you're
No.
crazy enough you would.
No way. I'm a fair weather guy. Dude, honestly, if I could spend 6 months out of the year in 100-degree heat, I'd be totally okay with it.
100 degrees, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything less than 70 is definitely the worst.
When you're older,
Ever.
you're going to be a snowbird. You're going to go south in the...
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we already try and make trips throughout the winter anyway, so it's like,
Yeah.
80 degrees when it's 30 degrees here feels
Yeah, amazing.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're good.
Well, you're definitely on your way there, dude. It's been cool watching your journey, working together in the prison, having those cool talks, going down to that big-ass drive we did down to Vegas and back, and just being able to talk, like, life and success and entrepreneur, whatever, all that good stuff, and then seeing you actually, like, put a plan together and to the moon, baby.
With old put in reverse Terry.
Yeah.
Love me some Terry.
That was-
Shout out to Terry, though.
That was such a fun trip, dude.
That was
I
a
mean,
good
the
time.
drive sucked, but when we were there in Vegas, there was some core memories that won't be leaving.
On the way back was the worst.
Yeah.
The way there wasn't bad.
Yeah, because you got that excitement. You're, like, ready to go. You want to get down to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then the way back, you're like...
I mean, at that point, we were still drinking, so we were like,
Yeah.
ugh,
Yeah.
about died.
Did you stop drinking then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been. Well, how do I put it? So I went to rehab when I was 25, and it was very rare that I drank since then. It was like very special occasions that I would.
Yeah.
It's probably been, let's see, so 18. Been, I don't know, when would we go down there? Was it 19?
21? Or no?
No, it was.
Was it after COVID?
It was
No, it was before COVID.
before,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
still in my old house, so I think it was 19.
It was 19, yeah. So I don't remember any time after that
Or
I.
was it?
No,
No, it had to be in 20 because we were working together on transport at that point, right?
yeah, but they're. I don't know.
I think it was
Is it
20. I think it
19 or
was
20?
21.
No, hadn't have been 21.
20 would have been like
'Cause we were-
completely shut down for COVID.
We were still in our old house, though.
I don't know. I sold my house in 21. And I was still in my old house because my grandpa was supposed to go with us, and my dog ruined his knee. Remember, he was
Oh,
going
yeah.
to go golfing.
Yeah.
And that was still at my old house because we poured that concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
Vegas
21.
was a trip, dude.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was
Some
good.
cool golf courses, and then what did you do? 2 golf courses? We did
I don't
that
remember.
Canyon Springs and then the TPC Las
No.
Vegas.
Coyote Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coyote Springs and TPC Las Vegas. I wasn't super impressed by TPC Las Vegas.
I'm
but
impressed you made it.
yeah.
That was
I'm-
you didn't come home back to the hotel till like 4 in the morning or something like that, and I was back at like midnight.
Power
And
through.
then, dude, I remember you waking up and you went to sleep with a chew in your mouth, and that white pillow was just covered in your spit. And I was like, dude, this guy is not making the tea time. We had 8:00 tea time, and you freaking booked it together. We were there, dude.
Power through.
Yeah,
Was that the night that we
yeah.
put it all on red or black? I don't remember.
No, I think that was the next night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a fun trip.
The night before was when we were hanging out with your buddies down there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then the next night is when I think we
Okay.
met up with Garrett and
Yeah.
we did I still got that video. You putting it all on. Because you guys were doing really good at the craps table, and then you took
Mhm.
all those winnings, and you're like one spin on roulette.
Yeah, I think we ended up winning like $3,800
That was sick.
night.
Yeah, because I think it was 1,700 you put down
Mhm.
on one spin.
Yeah, it was a good time.
That was dope. Well, dude, let's get into it. Let's where are you from and you know all that good shit.
From here, born and raised. Well, Boise. I don't want to say Canyon County.
Yeah.
Nothing against it, but
I ain't a 2-seer.
yeah. Worst drivers recorded. So I grew up here, played baseball all through college, went to school over in Oregon, and then came back, was doing plant sales. So like shameless plug, Bonnie Plants, so like vegetable starts. I was over in Pocatello, and I think I had just turned 21. I bought a motorcycle, and then we went up to, so McCall used to have the North Shore, which was like a huge like party on the 4th of July every year. Like they don't do it anymore because of how big it got. Anyway, this one's funny because we got a ride, so they weren't allowing people to drive in there to get like to walk onto the beach because they were at capacity. Like there's like thousands and thousands of people there, and there's boats that like back up to the beach and do, they just party. So we ended up paying this guy. So we went like kind of down the road a little bit, and there were guys on jet skis basically shuttling people to the beach. So we paid a guy like $20 a piece to shuttle us over to the beach. And I remember there were 3 guys on the jet ski, and then I held on to the back of the jet ski and got dragged in the water to the beach.
And
Anyway,
you still paid $20.
yeah. No discounted rate, 4th of July.
Yeah.
Anyway, we partied pretty hard there, and then we didn't have anywhere to stay. And so the Albertsons parking lot right there, like in downtown McCall,
Yeah.
didn't have anywhere to stay. It's like, shoot, well, I had a buddy that had a cabin in Cascade, so I was like, well, I'll just ride my motorcycle down there. And coming down Little Donner into Cascade, like the fast part of Freebird came on my speakers, so I just like floored it. And then the ISP passed me, flipped around, pulled me over, said he clocked me at like, I want to say it was like 98 miles an hour. So this one, I didn't remember anything really after that until I watched the video, but I got off the bike and like stuck my hands out and was like, I'm drunk, like take me to jail. Yeah. So I went to jail. Dad bailed me out and he was mad. I mean, went through all that.
How drunk were you?
I blew a .219. So
Almost 3 times the legal limit.
no, just twice.
0.29.
Oh yeah, you're right. Carry the 7. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So that was not good. Went through all that. Instead of doing like, I actually got really lucky. Because he had a mess of charges on me, and then essentially he was like, well, the lawyer worked his magic. I don't know exactly what happened, but I ended up getting like just the regular DUI, not excessive or whatever. I had to go spend, I think it was like 4 days in jail, which sucked. Although
Valley County.
Yeah, Valley County. It wasn't like terrible, but I'm 21 years old, and there's like I'm in a room or a pod with freaking just crazy people. I was like, all right, this is the last time I'm doing anything like this.
Dude, it's wild that you got that on a motorcycle too. Like that drunk and you were on a motorcycle. Like that's wild.
You know what sucks though? I was like 2 minutes away from my destination. I'm thankful that it happened, but
yeah, I was gonna say, had you been driving drunk before and just got caught?
Yeah. I mean, there had been countless number of times where I should have been arrested.
Yeah, God was definitely watching out
for sure.
Made it happen when it happened for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So got sober for a short stint. Actually started hanging rain gutters for a local company. And then in construction, it's like, hey, you go do your job, and then you go to the bar, right? And then things just kind of spiraled out of control then.
Did you get sober for court ordered or?
Yeah, because I was on, I think it was called Color Code, where I would call in every day, and they would assign me a color, and if they called my color, I had to go in and do a piss test. Let's see, after that, I actually ended up getting a job. I was doing gutters for a couple years, and then I ended up getting a job in sales, selling roofs and exterior products, and did really, really well. I mean, it was more money than I had ever needed. We'd make 10%. So, if you sell 4 roofs a week, like, that's $40,000 in commission just in a week, right? So, doing really well. I was you know, drinking, snorting, doing kind of back on that train. And then at that point, I met my now wife, and she got pregnant, and she was like, "You're done, or you're not gonna see your kids." So went to inpatient rehab for 30 days.
Voluntarily? Or
Yeah.
did she want you to go? Or
Well, I mean,
yeah, you agreed.
yeah, ultimately. So I did find out who I didn't want to become. I mean, there's 40 other people in there that are way worse than me.
Did you think you had a problem, or were you just kind of doing
You
it to appease
know,
her?
the more that I think about it, the more that I realize that it's more of a choice. People might hate me for this, but when it's portrayed as a disease, like in the thick of it, like I can understand that, right? But like with drinking, you wake up hungover and you make a choice to continue to do that, right? I think a lot of my issue was like I didn't have a lot to like look forward to, and then I was already in a pattern of like, in sales too, like you party as much as you can, right? So I personally feel like I don't necessarily have the desire anymore to drink or do anything. Um, I have the mindset of really excuses. Like I feel like sometimes they're using the disease portion as an excuse. Like, hey, like it's a disease, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're using it as an excuse that they can't change.
Yeah.
When in reality, like, and it works for some people, right? Like AA, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Like I get it. But the more that I think about it, the less that I think that it was less of a choice, right? Like I made the choice to do it, and I'm essentially making the choice, and I've gone so long that it doesn't necessarily I don't have that desire
Yeah.
anymore.
Did you have like any triggers or anything that made you want to go drink? Like for me, when I stopped drinking, that summers of going golfing was always like one, or just any kind of social event, even like kids' birthday parties. I would never go to a kid's birthday party before without like going to the adult cooler, and
Yeah.
like it was just like accepted.
Yeah, when I woke up, that was a trigger.
Yeah,
No,
it was
just kidding. No. I don't know. It was always like the next fun thing,
yeah,
right? Like same thing, golfing, drink a 6-pack. After work, you make a big sale and go to the bar, and it was all about like that's what everybody did that I hung around, right?
Were you mainly like a social drinker? You weren't like just going home and drinking, or
At the end, I was definitely more of a closeted drinker for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, in the beginning and through the stint of it, it was more of a social. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The drinking thing's interesting, man, because it's like socially accepted, and it's kind of pushed on you, and um, it's like the thing that people think to do, and people look at you kind of differently when you're like, I don't drink. And they're like, what? It's
Yeah.
like the only thing that people look at you weird. Like if you said, no, I don't smoke meth, they're like, what? You don't smoke meth?
Yeah,
What?
get out of here.
But it's like, I mean, I don't know the statistics, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure alcohol's probably killed more people than meth, but
Oh, no
looked
doubt.
at it completely differently. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, I mean you can't die from what's it called when you stop? So when you
Like
stop,
withdrawals,
yeah, so you can't die from meth withdrawals,
right?
but you can die from alcohol withdrawals.
Yeah, it's
So,
wild.
I mean either way, don't do meth or
Yeah.
alcohol. But
Yeah, we're not advocating for meth here,
no,
but
no.
if you are, I know a guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't get commission.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What was it like in there for that 30 days then? What kind of stuff did you have to do?
it was pretty militaristic, if that's the word. Like they in the first first week you would have to get your blood pressure taken like 3 times a day. And one of those times is like right at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so it was like really stupid that they would like come in, wake you up, and take your blood pressure, and then You would wake up, you'd have like a morning class, I guess. I like I would portray it like super intense schooling, and then it's like on the hour every hour. Like you'd get like a 15-minute break every once in a while.
Are they like teaching you the effects of these drugs and what they're doing to your body, or what's?
Both, yeah, both. A majority is gonna be like figuring out your cues or what triggers you. Figuring out what your thought process is. Um, once I got like through and I never had like really bad withdrawals. Um, but like you would meet with like a doctor every week, once a week, and by like the second week, the doctor's like, yeah, I mean you're still young, and I think you got your shit together, so you know follow this through, and then he thought yeah, it would be fine. So
Yeah,
yeah.
sick. So then, did that help your relationship with your wife
Yeah.
or girlfriend at the time? Was it
Yeah.
fiance? What was it
No,
at the time?
girlfriend.
But you knew you really wanted to marry this woman, so you did it for her, pretty much.
She got really lucky. That's a joke.
Yeah. Oh, she got lucky with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know how good she has it.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. You know what? My parents are still together. And I've always grown up seeing like, you know, a healthy, happy home. I didn't want my kid to be um didn't want my kid to grow up with separated parents. And her parents separated when she was 18. And so she also didn't want her kids to be in a not necessarily broken home, but somewhat
Separated.
along those lines, right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of talked about it. We made the choice to like try and work through it. I think this is like year 9 or 10. I don't remember.
That you guys had been together?
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
Well,
oh, yeah, because you guys just
like
barely got
right
married.
there. Yeah, so we got married last October.
Yeah. Sick invite. Anyway.
Yeah. We got married on Elvis's Cadillac, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, we worked through it. I mean, we all had kind of ups and downs. Like it's not all
Yeah.
sunshine and rainbows. But yeah, I think we got engaged in what was it? 21 or 2020? I don't remember.
Mm.
I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, it's really great now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, man. It's an interesting decision when you stop drinking. Like you have to kind of future cast it. That's another thing for me you said about the kids and marriage, and I had to look at like how many times my wife and I would get into arguments and what the common denominator was, and it was always we were drinking. Like our worst fights were we were both drunk. I mean, her problem was like she would, get emotional, and then I just had no emotion.
Right.
So I would she would, walk away and expect me to go chase after her, and I'm like, she'll come back when she's ready. Like,
Yeah.
Like I was always pretty emotionally detached,
Mm.
and so I had grown up with seeing multiple divorces, So I was
For
just
sure.
like, Ashley and I were engaged for 6 years, or we were together for 6 years, engaged for 4 before I even got married,
Yeah.
So I was like, I just seen too many divorces growing up. I was like, I don't really know. Like we had, on paper, we were pretty much, besides on paper, we were pretty much married.
Yeah.
Like lived in the same house, same bank account, 2 kids already, whatever. But it was just that, I think it's more important to them about marriage. Because I also wasn't in faith at all at that point. So
Right.
it wasn't like any religious side of the marriage significance or anything for me. So I was just like, it's just a piece of paper kind of thing.
You look at it as like, I don't know, my mind works more on logic than emotion.
True.
And we definitely butt heads there. I'm a visionary of like I see a goal and then I have a way of like thinking that I know the straight line to get to that goal. But then she comes in with, really, and she gets credit on this, I guess. really some great ideas of how to get there, but I don't see that from that point of view, and so it's hard for me, and that's I would get frustrated and still get somewhat frustrated, but like the way of doing things, right? Like for example, if we want to pull out some rose bushes, right? Her idea would be to essentially like dig them out and not tear up the grass. But my idea is shit, let's just wrap a tow strap around it and
Put it to the truck.
put it to the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we obviously she started to dig and realized that it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we put it to the truck.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's little stuff like that. But yeah, I think really,
Eventually they start
really,
to realize that we're right, and they just stop fighting.
exactly. Yeah. It's so bad. But yeah, no, things are good.
Yeah.
Things are really good.
That's cool, man. And when did you start working at the prison?
Is it
Was that around the time where you had a kid? Where you needed
yeah.
insurance and shit?
Yeah. I think it was 2017, 16, 17,
Yeah.
maybe 18.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met you was in the transport office at ISUC. Was that like your training or something?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Pretty sure. I don't know. I remember meeting you in the office, and I was like, "This pompous asshole. Who is this guy? Thinks he knows everything."
Well, I mean, I'm hated until you get to know me.
Yeah,
It's pretty normal.
that's pretty normal. That's
No.
good. I mean, that's a typical salesman, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny because I was just having this conversation. So, I had a meeting yesterday with a kind of a mentor, and he in college brought up this thesis of who are you, right? So if I ask Matt Sidwell, who are you? Like, what would you say?
I'm a dad, trying to rebuild my life, break generational curses.
Okay, so that's what you are,
Yeah.
but who are you? Why does God put air in your lungs every morning? Like what is your purpose? What can you do on a daily basis that you fall asleep at night with integrity? Right?
Yeah, okay.
So the theory is like you have 5 boxes, so you have box A, B, C, D, and E. The A box is, who you are, right? Who am I? The B box is the realities, right? I'm a dad, I'm a male, I'm tall, dark, and handsome. You have the C box, which is what you do, right? I work for whatever, right? What you do for work. And you have the D box, which is methods, which is okay. How are you doing these things? And then you have the E box, which is outcomes. So to really expect the right outcomes that you want, all of your boxes have to line up. You have to know who you are inside. You have to know your realities of like, okay, for example, if my outcome is playing women's sports, obviously that's not going to happen because my realities aren't going to work, right? Like I'm a male in the state of Idaho.
Yeah.
So ultimately you have, your realities, who you are, what you do, the methods to get to that box E, right? And there's 3 questions that, and I can actually read them to you if you want.
Yeah.
There's 3 questions that you need to essentially ask. The 2 questions you want other people to answer for you. So the first 2 questions are you want to ask close friends, family, whatever. Make sure that they're not mad at you at that time. But the first question is, tell me a time that you saw God working through me. That would be the first question. So they come up with an example. And then the second question is, what words would you use to describe me? So then, listed 2 or 3. Then the third question is what you need to ask yourself. And that's think about a time in my life that God has used me, right? So you essentially go through all these questions, and we haven't come down to the conclusion yet on me, but that's the premise of trying to figure out, like, who am I? Like, who is Scott? Like, what does God use me for? So they were just kind of trying to work through that, right? Like, if I want to be, if I want to donate $1 million a year to charity, right? I need to know what my box A, B, C, D are in order to get those outcomes.
Yeah.
If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I've never really thought of it like that deep. I've never.
Nobody has.
Yeah.
Everybody. So box A and C, typically males get mixed up, right? Their identity is typically built into what they do, right? I'm a fitness coach, or I'm a business owner, right? That's who they are, or they believe. Females typically get A and B mixed up, right? With their realities, right? Who they are, who they think they are, is all based on looks or personality or what have you. Plastic surgery is a huge, huge market, right?
Yeah.
So, really finding out who you are is definitely something that I believe everybody should do.
Yeah, you've been really into mentors and stuff along your success journey.
Mm-hmm.
When was the first time that you got into that? Or
I
they even realized that it was like an important thing that you needed?
Well, I met this guy. His name's Rick English. Super great dude. Plug. Up Advisors. If you are a business owner, check him out. He's essentially a fractional CFO, CEO, more of a business advisor type of guy. I met him, and he really, like, the guy came from like super big corporate, held a CEO position, held a CFO position, and really just takes a different mind, right? Like with your business, like you see it all day, right? And so you have an idea of how it should run, right? But if you don't bring on outside influence, like you may never know if you could be doing something else different that would, keep you going up and to the right, right? So I met him, hired him. He was really great. And then I actually still, we've been together, it's almost 4 years, 5 years. And then at that time, like I had this coming to Jesus moment. And this was a couple years down the road, but coming to Jesus moment, and I'll kind of spare the long story short. I had never been religious at that point in time. I had a dream. I woke up at 2:00, wrote the dream down, and I ordered a Bible on Amazon, like at that time. Turns out Rick is a devout Christian. Very, like, if I could grow up to be like Rick, it would be like I would be happy. Anyway, so he kind of guided me through that. And that's brought me into really surrounding myself with other business owners that, are either faith-based organizations or devout Christians. And so really just surrounding myself with these types of guys is key, right? Like, what's the rule of thumb?
Iron sharpens iron.
Well, yeah, but if you're surround yourself with 4 millionaires, you'll be the fifth,
sixth,
right?
Like
yeah, exactly. So really, it's not how but who, and you've probably heard that countless number of times.
Yeah.
And it's not always who's in your business, it's who's around you, right?
Right. Yeah, I always want to be the dumbest person in the room. I went to a cigar lounge just last Saturday that I got invited to, and just a whole bunch of cool people there. And I was like, yep, I'm definitely in the right room because I am the dumbest one here. And that's what I was like. I like to be around those kind of people. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to leave the prison. Like, that was, you look around and you're like, nobody wants growth here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that there's definitely something to be said. I think just staying humble in situations, living life as, confident but humble, being confident in yourself but humble in the situations, where it comes down to, a part of a group that all these guys are like, I'm gonna say way better than me. Like
Yeah.
if I'm on level 10, they're on level 1,000. And there's something to be said about being humble in those situations. I've never, until that first meeting, I had never walked into a room and felt like I didn't have anything to offer somebody. And then I sit down for this 8-hour meeting, and I look at these guys and I'm like, I I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like I don't have anything to offer you. Like you guys are talking on such a high level that like I just need to be, a sponge ultimately. And it's converse, like they say that nobody's impressed by anybody in those rooms, but I think that that's bullshit because I'm impressed by every single one of those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What changed in your business once you started having Christ in your life?
Um, you know, not so much in my business, but in my life, of the anxiety piece, right? Like business is tough, especially in the beginning because you don't know when it's not a consistent paycheck, right? And so once I found Christ, that really alleviated a lot of anxiety. Now I still get it, right? Like, but when I get it, I realize that my mind needs to go more to Christ than it does to the flesh or anything outside of the spirit.
Yeah, I think it's in Matthew where he talks about that God will take care of the birds of the air, and aren't you more important than the birds? And if he takes care of them, like he'll take care of you. Put all your anxieties at his feet, kind of thing.
Those poor birds.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then somebody else said too, like when you have doubt and fear, you're just not trusting in God's plan. To not believe or to have doubt whether things are gonna work out or not. You're just pretty much spitting in God's face. Like,
I was just talking to a buddy last night actually about how you can feel like when you have, and I think of it pretty figuratively of having like Jesus and the devil and yeah, and which one you're talking to, right?
Yeah.
In that your little mind or your little voice in your head. And I was talking to a buddy last night about how you can feel the spirit like leave you when, like, for example, you're listening to music that you shouldn't be listening to,
Yeah.
right? Like you can feel the spirit like
Yeah.
pull away, and then you gotta reset,
Right.
and then you can feel it back, right?
Yeah.
So that's been really big for me.
Get more of that conviction.
Yeah, and just being intentional. Um, in most cases, like we work and talk to people all day, and the last thing I want to do when I get home is like talk to anybody. I literally just want to like veg out, right?
Mhm.
I don't like I'm exhausted. I don't want to do, dad stuff. So really being intentional with being at home or being focused on where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think surrounding yourself with Christ-like people. I mean, everything like Christ-centered has been huge for us. Like, just even family, we want to make sure that like we're doing as much as we can
Mm.
to live that life and just set that example for our kids. I mean, one of the biggest reasons we started going to church was just because like we're not always going to be there for our kids, and I want to have them have some sort of morals that they can make for themselves because this is such a wicked world that I wanted them to be able to do that. And once I got into shape, I felt good, but I still felt like something was missing. Like there wasn't fulfillment or anything. And then
Right.
once I started going to church and kept going at it and just really getting into it, I was like, okay, this is what's missing. It was, but yeah, I didn't go to church till I was 2024, so whatever that is, 30, 29,
Yeah.
31, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm kind of in the same. I don't know when you started. I think you might have started a little bit before me because I remember hearing
Probably
you talk about
same year.
because you did the podcast for like Christ and business, right?
Yeah, that's relatively new though.
Yeah, that was like last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I started listening to Myron Golden. You ever watch him on YouTube? He's like a big business YouTube channel, but he teaches it through the Bible principles, and is like listening to King Solomon,
Right.
and like his prayer every night is, praying for wisdoms to do the things that God put him on this earth to do, to serve the people that God put him on this earth to serve,
Mm-hmm.
and asking for that wisdom, because like Solomon was pretty much given a blank check of what he wanted, right, in his dreams, and he's like, just give me wisdom. And so I make sure to put that in my prayer every night, like just give me the wisdom to help the people that put me on this earth to serve, because ultimately that's why I ended up leaving the prison. I was like, there's no fulfillment here. I want to like help people, but these people don't want help.
Right.
It's very far and few between that people that are actually in prison that want the help, besides they're getting forced to help. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
Yeah.
But so when you were working at the prison, when did things start to like click that you wanted out and you wanted to do your own thing?
First day I stepped in.
Yeah. You weren't a fan?
It was okay, dude. Actually, I had a good time. And my experience is probably is different than most.
Mm-hmm.
I did my OJT stuff, and then within 3 months, I transferred over to the yard and was hired onto transport. So
Yeah.
I never had it was a very short period of time of actually working in the institutions.
Yeah.
And so all the people that I met, even some of the residents, is that what
That's what
is
they
it
call 'em now,
called?
yeah.
Yeah. Were actually cool. Like I had no issues with really anybody.
Yeah.
But I just wanted more. The more that I think about it, it's more pride than anything. I wanted more money. I had a taste of, making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then you go to, $25 an hour, whatever it was. You're like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
So I wanted that. And then I wanted more freedom. But most people don't tell you that early in business, you don't get freedom.
Yeah, you go from 40-hour weeks to 70, 80
Yeah,
hour weeks.
yeah. But I think it was more pride of being, I wanted to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, ultimately at that point, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money. I mean, that's the cool thing about Myron Golden and his Bible studies things. He's like, in the Bible, it tells you like to be wealthy. Like it
Right.
teaches you how to be wealthy. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not like it's a bad thing.
Right.
It's actually your responsibility to have that generational wealth for your kids. Not that they don't have to work, but you still
Yeah.
need to provide. So that's where I think a lot of people get twisted, is that wanting more money doesn't make you bad. You just have higher standards for yourself.
I think it goes down to the reason why.
Yeah, the intention behind
the
it.
intention and the method.
Right.
Like it, for example, all these porn sites that are making hand over fist, right?
Yeah.
But their method of getting that money is
Wicked,
sacrilegious, right?
Yeah.
So I think the motive and the method, and it all goes back to the 5 boxes, right? Like you want your outcome to be financial success, which should never really be the true outcome, right? The whole point is to give some sort of freedom and the ability to help people, right?
Yeah.
Like
the more value you provide, the more money you're gonna get.
For sure, yeah, absolutely. Nick Saban, I watched him speak.
That's a dude with no arms, right?
Nick Saban.
Or wait, who's that dude?
He's the football coach.
Oh, there's
Alabama
another Nick guy that doesn't have any legs or anything. He's like a speaker.
Oh, really? So the Alabama football coach guy.
Oh, okay.
He actually brought it up in his speech that it was actually kind of a Q&A, and he was talking about, you don't pray for the blessing, you pray to be the blessing. And he said that if the mindset of being the blessing over getting the blessing is there, then you're providing more value, right? If I come in and I help you, you're going to be not on a financial basis, but you're going to be more apt to say refer my business or whatever, right? So it all comes full circle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick, dude. Yeah, it's cool when you get those little mindset shifts. just those little tweaks of, you know, being more valued rather than asking for stuff. And then too many people, I think, got that backwards and praying for the wrong things, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like, God's not going to give you stuff that you can't handle. You know, like if you're not even ready yet to have that much money because you're not in a mind space that you're just going to go blow it, or you're not doing the right things with it. Why is he going to trust you with that?
We are a steward. It is not our money, and it is not our business.
Yeah.
We are a steward of God's money and God's business, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, I don't know. You've probably read business books of them saying like work on the business, not in the business. Until you have that mindset of it being God's business and you're just stewarding it, like once you take a step back and you kind of like orchestrating things, your business isn't going to grow as well or as healthy as it would if you're just actually stood back and truly working on the business, not in.
Yeah. Was it scary for you leaving the prison?
No.
No? I mean, you were doing stuff on the sides, like on your weekends and stuff anyway, so it wasn't like you were just going cold turkey. And
yeah, I had some capital saved up at the point of the only reason I stayed as long as I did was when we bought our new house, I needed to show my W-2 income.
Right.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So as soon as we closed on that, I was
sick for a couple
sick.
weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to change that rule, man. Use it or lose it kind of thing. I remember last year I started the year in January with like 200 plus hours of sick time, and I knew going in. I mean, I already told my lieutenant too for the year. I was like, "You're not going to be writing an end of year report on me." He's like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm out." And then it was just interesting because certain things just kept happening between like I got a doctor's note just because I thought maybe I would have to get surgery, but he's like, no, you don't need a surgery, but I'll still write you like a couple weeks off work. I was like, cool. And it turned into 3 weeks off work, so I'm just burning through the sick time. And then there was a suicide that I responded to, and I got like a month off for that. So I just kept burning. I'm burned. I walked away with 0 hours of sick time. Like I was like, I'm using this.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
If they, I don't know. I mean, I get why they do it, but at the same time, I don't get it. You know.
It all comes down to financials.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll tell everybody too. Like I think God definitely put me in prison for a reason, because it got me to stop drinking, seeing other people make their mistakes drinking. It taught me patience for my autistic son. Taught me security practices for my autistic son. Like my house is a prison now. You know, like code in, code out,
Right.
locks on the windows. I'm naturally like kind of scanning at all times to see like where is he gonna run and going to the park. Like it's just something that ingrained in me. But there's just a bunch. I think getting on the prison bus was another God thing. Like having that much time between Boise and Coeur d'Alene, where that's where I started listening to books like Jocko Willink, and the big one for me was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like that one, I remember I finished that book. I came home from the gym one morning and told Ashley, I'm like, give me 2 years and I'm out from the prison. And she's like, it's 7 a.m, Matt. Can you do this later or whatever, you know? But that book just did it for me. And so I think having all that downtime, being on the bus and just listening to books, you can only listen to so much music. So like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, like all these books. And I was like, all right, I'm out, you know? But God was working the whole time. Even when I didn't believe in God, he was still there. And there was too many things I just had to start like thinking about. And I was like, all right, I gotta start looking at this God thing. All these things that keep happening aren't coincidences.
I agree. I feel, and I'm still so new at this that I can't act like I know what I'm talking about, nor do I want to act like I know what I'm talking about.
Same.
I have a men's group that we meet every Thursday and do, right now we're going through the book of Luke. So just trying to learn it and live it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important too, like those groups, just to surround yourself with other men that are smarter than you in the Bible, and if you're smarter, and then in other areas, like it's just iron sharpening iron. Like another, he might be weaker in this area, but you're stronger, and everybody just lifts each other up.
It's so humbling though, because you're meeting with these guys that that know it, and you're like, they ask you for your opinion, and you're like, forgive me for my ignorance, but
Yeah.
here's my thought.
Right.
But yeah, just staying humble in those.
Yeah.
You don't want to act like you know everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. Like I said, it's been cool just to watch you and I mean, it's that whole comparison thing, but it just shows you what's possible. Like, you really put your mind to it. You surround yourself with the right people. You invest in yourself with mentorship, learning different things, learning different skills. I mean, you can make things happen. You're like the ultimate example of betting on yourself.
No, I just got lucky. There was people around me that helped me.
Yeah, but you got to get in those rooms first, or like at least
I
try.
agree.
I'm not saying that like you didn't get lucky here or there, but like it's still you had to put some effort into it. It's not like you
Yeah.
just sat back and like, oh, cool, I got this couple cool businesses. I sold this one, like all because I was sitting on my couch. No, you're like putting the shit to work.
Well, I am here at 10 a.m. on a Friday, middle of a work day.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he's still got some areas to work on.
Yeah. No, I think in all of my sales training, it comes down to presenting the value, right? Like, and ultimately helping people. So in your line of work, the whole point is to help somebody better their physical and mental well-being, right?
Yeah.
So that's the value. They have a pain point, you have a solution, so on and so forth, right? My thought, I guess in the contracting space, you have a lot of salesy people, right? Just trying to sell the job to make the money. When in reality, we should be more of a consultant. Like, hey, I'm gonna give you all the information, present the value, so you can make an educated decision on one way or the other, right? It should never be about the money. Like, obviously, there has to be some sort of financial exchange, but it should never, ever, ever be about the money. And that's the whole point of this other business is like, especially in escrow, where guys come in, and Idaho's really bad when it comes to contracting space. It takes a dog, a truck, and a ladder, and $50 to get your license. And hey, now you're a contractor, which is crazy. And then you have, so like, say someone came in here to build your studio. It was going to cost 30 grand. Typically, you're going to give them 15 grand, and then say they come and do 5% of the work, and then you never see them again. Unless there's something, a deadline in the contract, you now have to prove in court that they were not actually going to complete the project. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So realistically, you'd be out $15,000 with nothing to show for it. And then you're going to try and take them to court. Well, if it's under $50,000, it doesn't make sense because you're going to eat probably all of that in legal fees. So then you got to take them to small claims court, which is less than $5,000. But then at that point, like, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
So that's the whole point is like, we want to save people from getting screwed over by contractors. Like,
how'd you get into that space?
I don't even remember. I want to say we spent a lot of time chasing money, and it kind of like we got screwed over by a contractor. We lost like 30 grand.
Because you guys were flipping houses, right?
No, well, we were on the siding company. We essentially did a job for this contractor, and then he just never paid us.
Oh.
And it's kind of funny. I know two other people that are actually close friends of mine that he screwed over after me.
Jeez.
Yeah. So.
And there's no legal thing that they can do besides hiring a shit ton of lawyers.
Right. Well, and then on top of that, all he's got to do is close down the LLC, or he can file bankruptcy, and then
that's it.
Tough
and
cookies.
You can just open up a different LLC.
Right. Yeah. Which is dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. But I want to say we were chasing a lot of money. So I was thinking about like a software that would essentially automate like the payment system, and then it just kind of turned into like, oh well, what if what if the money was in a third party holder to where they can, once everybody deems that the job's complete, the money's released. So that's kind of how it took me over a year to get going.
Yeah, because you said you had to jump through some hoops because you're not like the typical escrow person, right? Like they.
So how do I put it? So the Department of Finance is who oversees escrow services. What we are doing doesn't fall under the category of true escrow. So ultimately we were able to kind of negotiate and meet and kind of come to terms on, because the law requires like an escrow agent to work under somebody for a certain period of time before they can get licensed.
Like an apprentice kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's cool though. And how long have you been in this then?
Oh, a year.
Yeah. So what essentially, somebody starts a contract, they put a contract together with an end date, and they put that money in escrow, and then you pay the the person doing the work. Then is that how that works?
So like, okay, you want to remodel your house it's going to be $100,000. So you already have a contract with the contractor.
Yeah.
Then you would come to us and you'd say, hey, we want your services. You would put that $100,000 in the escrow account. And then we work directly with the contractor. So we would pay we pay for all the materials out of the escrow account. We pay the contractor and all the subcontractors. And there's always, there's legal contracts and lien waivers and stuff that we collect as well. So as the homeowner, you know that, okay, all the materials already paid for. I own it. So if he doesn't show up, I still have money to go to market and find somebody to come in and finish.
Yeah.
So there's no possibilities for liens. There's no, how would you put it? There's no headache on the homeowner side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool little concept, man. I mean, it's not like you're the first one to think about it, but like to put that into action is pretty sick.
There isn't another company in the United States that does this.
Oh, like just.
I searched and searched and searched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not like a typical thing?
No.
So what's different about yours than like a regular escrow?
Regular escrow is
that just for like
the
home
sale
building?
of, yeah. So
Oh, it's just for, okay.
like you bought this house, right? All that
Yeah.
money went into escrow until closing, right?
Oh, okay. So that's what a typical escrow is.
Yep,
Yours is just
exactly.
for general contractors.
Yeah. We
Okay.
would technically be considered a payment service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I did not know that. That's cool then.
Mhm.
So you did think it up and do it yourself.
Maybe. We'll see.
So are you gonna like try and scale it and get into like other states and stuff, or is this pretty much just local right now?
It's just local currently. We've had opportunities to go to other states. I haven't really I don't have the bandwidth quite yet to
Yeah.
take on more states.
Are you pretty risk adverse?
What does that mean?
Like you're not afraid of taking risks?
No, I could
You always been like that?
I could lose everything today and be fine.
Today, right? But like before you had faith, were you still that way?
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember you talking to me and telling me I need to take risks. So I've just always been scared shitless of taking risks. So how you just grew up like that? Like your parents teach you like you can always make more money, or how'd you get that mindset?
I don't know. It was never taught to me. But like my parents would always tell me to save money, and I'd say screw that. Because I feel like I learned at a young age, like, oh, if I did chores, right, I'll make $5, right? So then I can take that $5, I'll go buy something. I'm like, oh, well, if I need $5 more, I'll just do more chores.
Yeah.
So, am I afraid of it? No. Am I? I don't know.
You're smart about your decisions before you do your research before.
I make dumb decisions. Like I have made so many dumb decisions that it's not even funny.
But you learn.
Yeah, I mean, people learn the most through pain.
Yeah. Dang, dude. Yeah, I know for me, leaving the prison was really a big one for me. But I was just like, you know what? I'm betting on myself, man. You know,
Have
like
you ever read the?
I know. Well, the thing about the prison was I could look around and see people who've been there 30 years and still don't want to retire because they're going to make less after retirement than they're making right now. Plus, they want the health insurance, and then they're like just kind of
because
stuck.
they're unhealthy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then that's just kind of all they knew. So I'm like looking around and I could see my future, which is kind of an interesting thing. You can't really do that in a lot of places, but I'm like, well, I know how this happens. And then I heard Alex Hormozy say, he's like, what's the worst that happens? You take a risk on yourself and it doesn't work out. You go get the job you already have.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that's true. But it's like,
Unless it's death, there's really no.
yeah,
There's no like risk.
yeah. Well, and if you're dead, then you won't even know what happened.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so, and hopefully you knew Jesus.
Not my
and,
issue anymore.
Yeah. I got life insurance. My wife will be fine. You know?
Yeah. No, it's
What's your advice then for people that are afraid of risk?
just do it.
Because there's a lot of people afraid of risk.
There's a book. I'm not gonna say the word, but it's called "Unf Yourself," and that I would say first step would be read that.
I've had that on Audible for years and I've never read it.
It's good. Yeah, or "Eat That Frog" is a good one.
I know the theory behind that, but
Yeah.
I've never read the book.
Yeah.
I've used that theory like for working out. People are like, I'm gonna work out after work, and I'm like, eat that frog early in the morning. Otherwise, you're gonna think about that workout all day long, and then you have to eat that frog twice.
Yeah.
So it sucks all day. You're thinking about it, and then you're still gonna have to go through the pain anyway.
I don't know if there's a book about this one, but the question is, how do you eat an elephant?
Yeah,
And it's one bite at a time, right?
yeah.
I just think you do it. Like, if you jump in a pool, it's a lot easier to do that than to wade into it, especially if the water's cold.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that checks out, man.
and
Yeah, I think that's interesting though, because that's the same for anything in life. Really, is just jumping in and just doing it, because you're gonna learn so much more. It's like reading a book on how to drive a car versus just getting in a car.
Yeah.
Driving, you know.
Yeah, I learned how to drive at 13 legally.
You probably learned how to drive on a golf cart.
No. Actually, how I really learned to drive was in an old like 1980s Chevy pickup, where the brights were actually like a knob on the bottom next to the clutch. And so we were rabbit hunting at my grandparents' farm, and it was dark out. We were trying to figure out how to turn the brights on because we're like looking, and every time I slammed the clutch in, the brights would turn on. We're like, oh shit. And then every time I slammed the clutch back in, they'd turn off. And so that's actually what I learned to drive in. And then a stick shift sports car that I may have commandeered.
Yeah. You still got that RV?
No.
You were buying and selling some cool stuff. You
Yeah.
got that Mercedes for like what, $100, and then
Yeah,
sold that for like $5,000 or something.
That's a funny story. There's a Mercedes sitting at the supply house that we went to, and it sat there for like 6 months. And I asked about it, and the lady that worked there, she's like, "Oh yeah, that's mine. If you get it out of here, I'll." So apparently the story was that it died, or she couldn't get it started, and it was in front of her apartment. The apartment complex was like, "Hey, we're gonna tow it." So she paid somebody to move it over to where she worked because her job was like, yeah, I can just park it in the parking lot, whatever. So it sat there for 6 months. I asked about it, and she was like, "Oh, that's mine. If you get it out of here, I'll just give it to you." I'm like, "Oh no!" Like I had $100 bill in my pocket. I'm like, "I'll give you $100." She's like, "All right, deal." She had the title right then and there, signed over title, whatever. So I'm like, "Dang, how am I gonna get out of here?" And I have a car hauler trailer, but it doesn't have a winch on it. And so I asked my father-in-law, we're gonna like snatch block basically a pulley, and then he would basically pull a rope with his truck, and it would pull the car onto the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So we looked at it, and we're like, I wonder if we just changed the battery and tried to start it. And so we went to bought a battery, and it started right up. It ran so good. We just drove it onto the trailer and
It just had
went
that
home.
battery.
Yeah. Yeah. So I told her that too. I was like, hey, if you want this car back, like, I'll sell it to you for the cost of the battery and my money back. She's like, no, you're good. So I ended up selling that for like $5,500.
Damn.
Some guy from LeGrand actually drove over and he was like, oh yeah, I want it. And I'm like, okay, well, I have no idea if this car will make it back. He's like, that's fine. I'm a mechanic. Like, we're good. And then I never heard from. I even texted him like 6 months later. I'm like, hey man, how's that car going? And he never texted me back. So
Like $5,300 profit.
yeah,
That's,
I think it was 50. Yeah, with the battery, probably 52.
that's sweet.
Yeah.
And then you got that RV. I remember you seeing that RV, and you sold that then.
Yep. Yeah, I did RV. I had a Jag convertible. That one I wouldn't say I lost money on, but I ended up buying it. It wasn't a great buy. It's super fun. It was a V8, like super fast convertible. I ended up trading it to my tattoo artist for my full back piece.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. A Ford Explorer. I don't know. Trying to sell a boat right now. If anybody's interested, it's a nice boat. It's Mastercraft. But yeah,
Talk to Garrett. He's always looking for a boat.
dude, and that's the thing. Like I kind of feel like a turd, because sometimes I'm like, I'll go through Facebook and I'll just send a ton of lowball offers, and either some people are just trying to get rid of something or need the money, right? But it ends up working out.
Is that how you got the boat?
No,
Oh.
no. My first boat I got, this one that I'm trying to sell. That's my first boat that I bought, and I bought it from a buddy who he bought a new boat.
Mm.
So we had that boat for a year, and then my new boat, it came up. I saw it on Facebook, and it was actually on there twice. One, it was on consignment through a store. I'm not going to tell you which store, because then, anyway, and then the second time it was on there, it was directly through the
Private seller.
private seller.
Yeah.
And apparently it was on consignment for like 6 months, and it was kind of the end of the season last year. So I just sent him a low ball offer, and he took it. So I was like, well,
I guess I got a boat now.
I guess I got 2 boats. So now I'm gonna. Now
I
I'm
want to
trying
try
to
and
sell
get up
that.
on a wakeboard, dude. That's always been a goal of mine, but I was always just so fat and not strong enough to pull myself up. So now I'm
You
like,
probably just didn't have a good teacher.
or somebody said too, it depends on the driver of the boat. Like if they
Mhm.
take off too quick, then it's
Yeah.
kind of hard.
Yeah.
I was also fat, so
Well, you know.
that helps.
No, we don't wakeboard a ton anymore. Surfing is where it's at.
Yeah, I seen you doing that shit in like what, December?
Yeah.
Something like right in the middle of the winter?
Yeah, I
your
go with a group of
wetsuit on?
yeah, I go with a group of guys once a month throughout the entire year. Like we have to go. And we go during the winter, and it sucks. But that's okay. It's cool to say.
Yeah, that was cool to watch.
It's a cool tradition, I guess.
Yeah.
There's have you seen the foil? You know what a
Yeah,
foil
really.
is?
Is that the thing where you like pump on the water? or
Yeah, but
whatever?
you can do it behind a boat, like
Oh,
on
really?
a surf wave. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You have the boat that you have to fill the water bags to put the wave.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yep.
So what do you say when people look at you and they're like, "Must be nice, Scott"?
I say thank you and move on.
It is nice.
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah.
What's some
Maybe you
shit
should get off your ass and
Yeah.
do something about it.
What's some of the stresses that people don't see though, as a business owner or business owner, I guess?
Time. There's not enough time. It takes a toll on your family more than anything, I think. Like right now we're in a time of life that kids are in sports, so it's, Marissa still works, so she works 8 hours, I work 10 hours, and then once we're done with work, one of us is taking one kid somewhere, the other one's taking the other kid elsewhere. So there's a lot of spinning wheels, but not a lot of traction, I guess. You get a lot of headache from not necessarily customers, but like the only time, especially when you're at the top, like anything that's minute, right, is taken care of below you. But anytime that there's an issue, it's always at the top, right? So all of our phone calls, like all of my phone calls are never like they're never like, "Hey, you did great today," or "Hey, like great job." It's always like, "Hey, we have an issue. Can we get this fixed?"
Yeah.
Right? So I would say that's a lot of the headache.
How was becoming a business owner and like having to take on employees and being a leader?
That's still a challenge. Um, as far as like me trying to grow all the time, like I look at it more from an aspect of guiding them rather than telling them what to do, right? Like,
Making it their idea kind of thing?
yeah. If I come in and I say, "Hey, here's your tasks for the day," right? They need to be done by end of day tomorrow. Most people are gonna take that whole time, right?
Parkinson's law, baby.
Right. So if I come in and I say, "Hey, what do you think about like taking ownership of this task," right? And
Yeah.
making it essentially their idea and they're
Yeah.
giving them some sort of entitlement,
Yeah.
then it would essentially, it's 10 times better to do it that way than it is to be a douche
Right.
about it. And I've
Yeah.
had my douchey moments. Like, don't
Oh,
say
I
that I
know.
haven't. Yeah, 3 times a day, but that's all right.
Yeah. You ever read Jocko's book, Extreme Ownership?
Mm-mm.
It's a great leadership book, and it talks about that as like he was talking about more of on the military side, but he also parallels it to the business side of it
Right.
too. But it's like when he would have like a mission come up, and he was a leader of this, SEAL team. He would, instead of telling them what to do, he'd be like, "This is what we need to get done. I want you guys to come up with a plan, though,
Mm-hmm.
and then come back to me and let me know, and
Yeah.
and then we'll go with your plan. But I want you guys to come up with a plan first. This is the end result. Come up with a plan."
Yeah.
And then they would like take it on more and be less adverse to like correction or anything else
Mm-hmm.
like that because it felt like it was theirs.
Right. I agree. Yeah. As far as employees, like the only advice I would say would be take your time with hiring in figuring out, what's a good hire and what's not, and be quick to fire. Like we're in a right to work state. We don't necessarily need to answer to somebody on why we let somebody go, right?
Yeah.
I think that there's too many people that, and this is a kind of a catch-22 as well, because in business you have to leave emotion at the door, right? As the steward of the business, right? You have to do what's best for the business, and if firing this person is what's best for the business, like you have to do it. But then your subconscious, or your subconscious goes into like, but now their family isn't going to have anything, any financial success, or their family's not going to have food on the table, or what have you, right? So like
Right.
trying to be a blessing, but also like steward a business, there's definitely some give and take there.
Yeah, because
So
at
that's
some point you're just
relatively
enabling
difficult.
the bad habits.
Correct, yeah.
A lot of people do that as parents, like even though they're adult children. I'm
Yeah.
like, not naming any names, but
Yeah. No, there
have you ever hired family? I feel like that'd be a hard one
I have
because when they start messing up, then you're like,
never worked out.
yeah,
Yeah. I still love them, but when it came down to it, like they felt because we were family that they could do whatever they wanted or show up when they wanted.
yeah.
Like, well, that's
Is that a standard you let them know as soon as they're hired? Like once you're on the clock, we're not family. Like or not. Not that we're not family, but like you're held to the same standards as everybody else. You know, special treatment.
I made the mistake pretty early in business, so since then
Yeah,
I haven't.
yeah. I haven't had to bring on any like real like employees full time, but I've definitely tried working with friends in the past or family members and
Right.
or like brothers, whatever, and it sucks.
Hmm.
It's not good. I mean, I know for myself, like even just when I used to work for my dad, he used to let me get away with murder, And it
Yeah.
doesn't really do me any good. Like, he thinks that he's doing me good by helping me out and stuff.
Right.
But, like, the best thing he could have done looking back is just, like, you're fired. Figure your shit out.
Mhm.
Because I went on way too long, like, not showing up to work when I was supposed to, or showing up and then leaving when people weren't looking, or, like, and that just, I had shitty work ethic. But that's not on anybody really besides me. I got to take ownership of I was an adult, right? I
Right.
still got to, but when you start enabling them and you don't do anything about it, then that's when it kind of sucks for the person. And
For
that's
sure.
what I have an issue with sometimes is, like, I'll see in-laws or my mom or whatever, and they're like just enabling someone. I'm like, let them fall on their face. Like,
For sure.
let them learn. Even with me being a parent, I don't try and helicopter parent my kids. Like, I let them make a mistake, because that's all you can do. Like, make the mistake and fail.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna, like, just
Let them fail carefully.
yeah. What's that saying? We actually gonna say, like, we like to let our kids play dangerously carefully.
Yeah.
Like, letting them cut up their meats, cut up their fruit, whatever, with, like, knives, and, like,
Chop
well,
their fingers off.
yeah. What if they cut themselves? I'm like, well, that's the best way to learn.
Tough
You
shit.
Let them
Yeah.
cook on the stove. What if they burn themselves? They're gonna learn. They gonna die? No.
People don't change until they hit rock bottom.
When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, then you'll change.
Yeah.
And most people just aren't in enough pain yet.
What do they say? Stupidity is the action of doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
No, I think it's like craziness or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, insanity. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I remember one of the hardest things I had to do was I kicked my brother out on the streets, and he lived under a bridge for, like, the whole summer. But, like, he just messed up too many times. And,
In a
and then
van,
later
yeah.
in life, like, he went through, like, a heroin addiction during that time, too, and all that. But then later in life, he's like, that was the best thing you could have done for me. He hit rock bottom, but he had to, like, build his way back up.
Mhm.
And it was hard. Like, I'd call him up, and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just, kicking in a Walmart parking lot. And I was like, well,
Sick.
good thing it's summertime.
Could you pick up some eggs?
Yeah. I was like, but, like, somebody burns their bridges too many times, you got to let them just go.
For sure.
And I'm sure as a business owner, it's got to be hard, because there's some people you actually genuinely build relationships with, employees and stuff, but they keep messing up. And you're like, at some point, this is hurting my bottom line.
I have a pretty short leash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Partially just because we set expectations in the beginning, and the whole thing of firing fast. Like, if I show you how to do it, we do it together, and then you show me how to do it. Right from that point on, that process should be essentially learned enough to do it relatively perfect from here on out. Right. So why is a year down the road this is completely unlearned? Like, why are we doing it different than what was taught, right? The whole thing of, setting in processes and integrating things is knowing that they work, right? So obviously we've done the research on the back end. What we're asking and set expectations is you essentially do it this way, right? So one mess up, okay, change it. Next one, it's definitely a pip or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's cool, dude. I think it's interesting to surround yourself with people like yourself with, like, more experience, because then when eventually, hopefully, I get to a point where I need some employees, I can just, like, go and talk to someone like you and be like, what's a good ground line to start at? Because I don't want to spend 2 years of making mistakes when I could just, learn from others that have already gone through this.
I wouldn't talk to me, but I have some contacts.
Yeah. Say, hey, Scott, what should I do? And then I just know what not to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's been a majority of my business, is learning what not to do.
Yeah. You just pivot quick once you make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fastest way to the success is how fast can you fail?
Yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it. Like, I remember in sales, they're like, instead of trying to get a yes, why don't you just try and get 100 no's?
Mm-hmm.
The more no's you get, the more likely you're going to get a yes.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to get everybody to be a yes.
Well, then you have marketing on top of that, which is crazy. Like, I think there's a guy in Houston that I think does what you do, and I think it's called the muscle shuffle.
Oh, really?
I'll send it to you. But it's so random that, like, in public places he'll rip his shirt off and then just, like, shuffle dance to some like techno music, like in the middle of a crowd.
Yeah.
It's insane. But he has like 80,000 followers, and so he probably does very, very well when it comes to business. So just being different,
The
providing
interesting thing
value.
about that market is that viewers doesn't mean money necessarily. It's value.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
like there's people that are crushing it and they have literally under 1,000 followers and they're
hmm
making tens of thousands of dollars a month. But the value that they have within those 800 people, and though just the way that social media works now, because your reels go out to everybody, not just your
hmm
followers. But like if your value is strong enough, you don't need a lot of followers. You just, you know,
Right.
so it's that it's another mindset shift of like, oh, like trying to get trying to get virality rather than value and saves and shares. Like the
hmm
saves and shares are more of the pieces that you need to look at
Right.
from a business perspective than views. Because like you can go and slap your grandma on the face and get 1 million views is going to make you money. No, you know,
Dang.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know any of the social media stuff,
no, it's a
but
whole other tangent. But it's just back to the value thing. Present value and focus on giving value to people, and life's Gucci.
and don't be a turd.
Yeah, don't be a turd.
Don't be a turd.
All right, dude. Well, what's your advice then for just someone that wants to start getting better and make more money? Like just an average 9 to 5 worker. Where should they start?
Quit thinking about it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I mean, there's so much information at your fingertips. You could I could go into Chat GPT right now and say, give me the quickest way to start a business. And it would literally print everything out to me. Like it's insane. There's so many tools, free tools that people can use. I think the insecurities need to be, there has to be something done about the insecurities before you do it. Like full feet in or full body in.
Just jump.
Head first, yeah. Yep. And if you fail, try again.
How do you get in the right rooms for those people? Like, surrounding yourself with higher ups. How do you get in those right rooms?
Takes time. Takes time building a network. People, well, specifically in sales, people buy people, they don't buy product, right? So if two people are the same price, they're gonna buy from the person that they felt more connected with, right? So the bigger your network, I'm not gonna say the bigger your net worth because that's dumb, but the bigger your network, the more people that you have access to, right? And then just being a good person, like present value, like for example, I had a buddy that was opening his second auto body shop, or it's a shop,
Yeah.
right? Mechanic shop. And he needed help like unloading a bunch of like lifts and stuff. So I'd offered to go out and basically run a forklift all day for him, which it didn't end up happening because the moving company did it for him. But stuff like that, right? Like, again, presenting the value, be a good human being, do stuff for free, and in turn, you'll have a financial gain at some point. The biggest thing is it can't ever be about the money. It never should be about the money. Obviously, we need money to live, but if you do things for the right reasons, the money will come.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I think that's it. That's huge. I think working on yourself first, becoming the person that you admire. Because if you don't admire yourself, how can you expect other people to want to work with you? You know, if there's anything that you need to work on, like drugs, alcohol, your laziness, vice, work habits,
Yeah.
things like that, definitely get that shit figured out first. And then that kind of person that you are making will attract those people to you.
Get off of social media.
Well,
That's it. Dude, I'm telling you, like, I am on it as well. I don't love that I am, but
what is it about getting off social media? You mean like just stop wasting time?
yeah,
Or...
and the comparison piece.
Okay.
Right? There's so I see reels all the time of like people that say like, oh, why buy, it's easier to make $1 million, or it's harder to make $1 million than it is to make $100 million, right? And there's
Right.
there's a guy on Facebook that makes fun of all these all these motivational sales guys, right? Which I think is hilarious. Like
10x.
yeah, 10x that shit. Anyway, like he talks about how like why buy 40 when you can buy a 400 plex, 10x that shit.
Yeah.
But like comparison, like stop comparing to other people, and just like be who you are, right? Be true to yourself and be honest with yourself and be honest with other people, right? One of the bigger mistakes that we made was portraying that we were a bigger company than we were, and taking on a larger project ended up biting us in the ass, right? So if I were completely transparent in those situations, or even like, it's not like I wasn't transparent, but I gave off the thought of like, yeah, we can handle this project, when in reality we probably couldn't.
Yeah.
So just being honest with yourself and everybody around you.
So do you think it's that saying of it's harder to go from 0 to 100,000 than 100,000 to a million is bullshit then?
Say that again.
They say that it's harder to go from 0 to 100,000 than from 100,000 to a million.
Time and effort, probably, because it's the scalable piece,
Like once you get the principles down, then it's
right?
easier.
Like the first 100,000 that we did, it was essentially just all me, right?
Yeah.
So I was working, 80 hours a week, whatever, right? So was that hard? Yeah. Did it come with challenges? Yes. But now, right, I still have challenges. They're just different.
Yeah.
But as far as like, if you have $100,000 in the bank, it's easier to scale or process things and put things in place that allow you to grow faster.
Gotcha. You just have more resources then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Ramosi has a thing where he's like, the fight of you versus a bear, and all you have is a stick, is going to be your hardest fight in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you don't have, it's not like you're going to have like bigger things, but later on when you got to fight a dragon, now you have, different nations behind you and all these other different armies and everything. It's like, so it's not like it's going to get harder, it's just going to have more resources. So the fight that you have right now is the hardest you can have. If you can just fight through this, then it's only going to be easier, but just don't fucking quit.
It's still a fight though.
Yeah.
Like there's even in Alex Hormozzi's life, like again, he still has issues and struggles. Like
he was talking about all of his lawsuits he's had just in the last year.
Right. Like it's just a different.
You just have more resources, at lawyers, whatever, people that you can help with.
More money, like
more problems.
Not Biggie Smalls, R.I.P. No, it's just like bigger the stakes, I guess.
More risk.
More risk, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'd like to get to the point one day where it's like, my biggest problem is I got to pay $1 million in taxes, because I was like, well, you got to pay $1 million in taxes. You probably made $10 million or something. I don't know what to do. I know they tax you out the shit, but people were talking about that, like, yo, the more money you make, the more taxes. I'm like, well, it's kind of a good problem. I'd like to maybe figure out that problem one day.
No kidding. Paying a big tax bill is good.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all about who you know too, about how you can off those things. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, if you got that much money coming in, you got to pay that taxes. I'd rather do that than have to worry about $2,000 a year and only making 20 or 40, whatever.
If you are getting to that point, though, I recommend you read Profit First.
Dang, you got a whole list of books we got to get.
I know. Maybe we should start a video book club.
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
Honestly, I don't read that much. I just listen to books. Like, I don't know what it is about just the reading part, but I like listening to books.
Yeah.
Do you like listening to them, or you actually like get down physically?
I try and read. I'll catch myself like scrolling social media, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna read. So I try to do that. During the day, I listen to podcasts more than anything. So
yeah,
I don't know. I probably read like 30 minutes to an hour a day.
Our pastor had a thing where he's like, challenge for the year is scriptures before scrolling.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to work on that in the morning, even if it's just reading one chapter, or I have to pull up my phone and read on the Bible app or something.
I have a hard time, like, especially in the morning, first hours with God, and I'll read. and then I'll like sit and think. And I'm like, I didn't retain anything that this said.
Yeah.
So I have to go back and read it. And I have a Kindle, like a big Kindle
Mm-hmm.
that I can actually make notes on. So
I want to get a highlighter and pens and actually like write in the Bible, and I think that'd be cool just to eventually one day be able to pass off, you know, when I die or whatever. My kids can go back and see all my notes and stuff. Like,
yeah. Sorry I didn't leave you anything, but here's a Bible.
yeah, here's a Bible.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's good.
I think I seen a meme or a video reel, whatever it is, and it was like Kevin Hart, and he was going through it in college or something, and his mom had moved him out, and he was asking his mom for money, and she's like, just read your Bible. And he's like, I'm not going to read my Bible, whatever. And then he was just asking for months and months and months. And his mom was like, just read your Bible.
Had
And then
money in
eventually
the
he went to
Bible.
the Bible and
So
opened
good.
it, there was money in the Bible, yeah.
I love that. They don't do that anymore in hotels. Did you ever remember?
They don't have Bibles in the hotel anymore?
Well, they do, but nobody puts like. I remember like every baseball trip that we went on. Every once in a while, we'd find like a $20 bill in the Bible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never even looked.
Yeah.
I've seen the Bibles in there. But
And then my sinning ass, I was like, oh, I'm keeping this. So, I was a turd, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what happened with that, but.
Yeah. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on. I know it was last minute, but I'm glad we got it in.
Yeah. Did you get everything you needed?
I don't know. I didn't really prepare at all, but I think we got everything that I didn't know I was going to get. So perfect.
Okay. I love that. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.